What's going on, guys? Well, as you saw, we got the Challenger up in stands. All of a sudden the weather took an absolute left turn. It was gorgeous earlier, and by the time I got the old Dodge up on stands to work on it, the rain started coming down and I got lazy. Anyways, it's actually Saturday, so we do a live stream every Saturday at 7:30 Central. So if for some reason you're not subscribed or haven't been in that, make sure you do it. Put a note on your phone. Click the subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things. Don't listen to Danny. So I don't know if I'm gonna get back on the garage tonight or not. Where we left the last video, this thing wasn't starting. Story of my life. So I got the parts on order. They should be here in a couple of days. But I have just a little bit of rust repair I want to do on the rockers, and I might drop the fuel tank, and there was some rust repair that needed to be done in the trunk floor, so I might do some of that. And the interior is a absolute nightmare. Mostly my own garbage, but I do have another shifter and a few things like that. So I'd like to go through all the kind of boring stuff, get it all taken care of. I gotta make sure it has lights and all that, because I don't remember where I left this thing. And yeah, try and get some of this leftover residue and glue and all that off the car, maybe give it a polish. But yeah, so I don't know if we'll be back at tonight or not. Otherwise I'll see you guys tomorrow. So yeah, Challenger video. Okay, well, it is the next day, and it's hot. It's really hot. Just got home from work. So we're gonna do a little bit of body work, I think. The one rocker I'll show you real quick. It's pretty roached out at the front. I do have some like 18 gauge steel, so I can make a nice patch panel for it. It's not much rust, but it's kind of long around the edge. But whatever. This side's all good. I just got a couple little. It's kind of porous, so I'm gonna sand it down, and I'll take the decal off. And yeah, a little filler on there should be good to go. I do gotta square away the quarters. They're pretty rough. On the way home, I stopped at the auto parts store, and they had mini starter. The guy gave me a heck of a deal on it. And the one that's in there, it was out of like a Dakota or something like that. Anyways, I've had it going so hard it smoked and stuff like that. Like, it was smoking, it was hot and all that. So I thought this is supposed to be more power, all sorts of stuff, good warranty, and the lugs are in a different spot. On that Dakota, or whatever it was, the lugs are sideways and right up against the block, so I had to kind of bend them around and all that. I don't know if maybe that was the problem. I took some material away. So anyways, I got some good connectors, and I'll take the headers and exhaust off one more time. But at least now it'll be 100% good. The distributor doesn't show up for a couple more days, but whatever. I think we'll get that done. The bodywork kind of sorted away a little bit. Then by the time I'll be done that in a couple days, hopefully the ignition will be here. So the only rust on this whole car, the bottom of this door is a little bubbly, not too bad. But right here we got just from about, well, there-ish, the front. It's right on the edge. We got some holes. So if I just kind of cut a little bit out, make a couple little patches, it should be good. Now this car, I know this is kind of structural on these E-bodies. This thing has weld-in subframe connectors and all that stuff, so I'm not worried about this thing whatsoever. It's a solid car. So I'm going to cut that out. I'll weld some stuff in. We'll schmuck it up, paint it black, and it'll be good as new. Well, good as the rest of the car is. Rough. So I'll pull the welder in. Oh, I probably should have moved the welder. Hopefully it'll sneak in there. But we're going to do this side today. And yeah, in between ripping the exhaust off. Should be good, but we're up on stands. Life's good again. I might scooch the top up, the front just a little bit more, but you guys might get a little cranky on this. The hood is so tall, I actually gacked it big time here when I was putting the door down, and the J-bar hit it. But yeah, that's why I don't work on other people's stuff. As always, there's a little bit more rust than I was hoping. Got a little bit of a rat's nest, so that's obviously what happened. The little animal got in there, it rotted from the inside out. So I kind of got a smaller piece here and a bigger piece there. I'm literally just gonna lay the metal on the inside, buzz it all in, kind of have it lapped in there, and then I'll just schmuck it with filler, and it'll be fine for who it's for. And there's a couple little spots back here, which I'll get to after, but I want to get this big piece up. So I'll start trimming a piece back, and I guess we'll just turn the camera back on when I'm buzzing it all in. Should be pretty simple. Alright, so a slight jump ahead. We got our little patch panel in there, 18 gauge. Now I did do it in 2 pieces, top and bottom, and I'll just kind of smooth out the bottom edge with the grinder. But I'm happy with it. Looks pretty good. Like I said, I lapped it in there, so it is slightly behind it, but it should be nice and strong. It'll be nice. I'm happy. So I'm gonna buzz all that in. I'll grind it all down, and then yeah, pretty much ready for filler. And then I got, like I said, just one little hole, which is right there. I kind of just put a little piece on the backside, pull the trigger, be good enough. Get the rest of this decal off, and then we'll just we'll mud it end to end. And I'm fighting out if I want to get into this door or not. Doesn't look like it's rusted through, so I might just hit it with the grinder and schmuck some. But then I got the fender too. I'll probably just leave that for now. But anyways, we'll set the lapsed camera up. We'll get that all welded in and ground down. And bring it back. Alright, so skipped ahead a little bit. I just put 1 coat of filler on, just kind of taking it off with some 80 grit or 40 grit. So it's pretty roughed out. So that has a couple of low spots. So I'll give her a little bit more and then play another coat, and then I'll just scuff it and shoot it. On the other side, I hate Bodywork. On the other side, I had the little heat gun out. I just got all the decals off down here. So unfortunately I heated up really good, but some of the paint came off. So, and there's a couple little, I get the welder in there, but I'll have to do that, do a little bit of filler. I'll probably paint the whole rocker. I'll just scuff it and shoot it. Because I did paint this quarter, I dusted it in right at this body line. So I think I'll just grind it, weld it up a few spots, and then like I said, I'll fill it. I'll come back once I get the bodywork a little bit more done. We'll shoot her black, and in between that, I might start taking the exhaust apart and pull that old starter out. And yeah, should be. It's a good night. Fun time. It's hot as hell. It's 30 degrees today. A little more progress. Well, they didn't like the scoop, so I'm just going to cut a big hole in the hood.
I don't think they're going to like that either.
I thought it through. So, I had the starter, well, the exhaust is half apart, just took a starter out, didn't really want to do any sanding, and MURch sent me a link for this bug catcher the other day, so I went down and bought it, because, I mean, why wouldn't you? It was like 60 bucks or something like that, so I'm like, I'll go buy that, and then I put on the motor just for kind of fun, and then I ended up chopping the hood. I don't know. I think it looks better than that. I know you guys hated this scoop, and I gotta say it was a little ugly. The only unfortunate part, it's blue here. They just painted around the black, so whatever. I did where I centered it. I can always put that scoop back on, and cover all that up. It'll be good. They did kind of silicone it down, and it kind of tore the paint up in a few spots. But let me know. I think that looks cooler. It looks very 80s pro streety, which, well, I like that. But it's now nighttime. I gotta get something to eat because I actually skipped dinner. And we'll be back at tomorrow, so I'll finish the sanding, we'll get the starter in, and I gotta get some longer carb studs on this thing, so I should put a spacer on it just to get it right out of the hood, because let's face it, you gotta show these things off. Then you gotta figure out the linkage and a bunch of other things. We'll do that, we'll get some paint on this thing, it'll look exactly the same, but be further ahead. And next video, I'm hoping we'll have ignition, and this thing will just be running like a champ. Alright, next day, bring up speed a little bit. I was just working on the linkage for the, this, so the scoop's still loose, but it's pretty much there. I'm loving this thing. We'll see. People on Instagram were kind of hit and miss on it. I got the old starter off. Now, we've run into a different situation, which is pretty good. There's no power to the coil. I tried jumping it with that, obviously. Didn't quite work for me, but, so I don't know, like the MSD box isn't happy now. I mean, it ran last year, and then it was popping through the carburetor yesterday or 2 days ago, and now it ain't too happy. But the only advantage now with this new mini starter is it does crank over a heck of a lot faster. So it's never cranked that fast. So we're having some sort of ignition issue for sure. I'm 2 days away from the just the factory stuff coming in anyway, so I'm not going to mess with this MSD at all. I'm going to take it out, take the distributor out, take all that out, and just run the factory stuff. So if fact it's turning over that fast, we get a proper ignition system, I think this thing will be much, much, much more drivable, or startable. So, I'm going to set the camera up, we're just going to kind of sand both rockers, get them kind of cleaned up. I'll clean the garage up a little bit, and we'll shoot her black, and we'll be done. I think I got the exhaust all back together. The starter took a long time because the headers have to come all the way apart, which you guys already kind of saw in the last video. So I figure doing the same thing 2, 3, 4, 6 times in a row, that's terrible for me, so it's gonna be worse to watch. So we're all back together, and yeah, let's get down to hacking this body together with some 80 grit. Okay, so I finished both sides. I just gave her a quick coat of some high build primer I had, and I'm using this Trem Clad semi-gloss black, and I'll just give her kind of a couple of coats here. I'll get in the jam and stuff like that, but pretty simple. And then all I did on the back of the car as well, kind of let it dry up, and I just scuffed it, and it was whatever. It's good enough. I did the other side as well. It wasn't nearly as bad, but just down the bottom there, I gave her a shot. It's far from perfect, but at the end of the day, no one's really ever going to notice it. And it looks better than it did. So now I gotta stay up a little late tonight. I'll get everything blown off. The distributor's supposed to be your day after tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll do some wiring, a little bit of screwing around like that, and make sure I got TDC. I'll retime this thing. It does crank over better. And then, yeah, we should be running 2-3 days from now. Unless I just jinxed it. It's windy and it's supposed to rain for the next 4 or 5 days. So that's lame. So I'll get this thing running right in time for monsoon. Good times. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Hopefully I got enough stuff in it. And thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a comment. Subscribe, bell, you know, tell a friend, whatever, all that stuff. See you next video.